Right.
Ho, ho, ho. I'm Emily Elias.
And my name's Tom Wiggins, and this is Desert Island Dips, the podcast where we pit condiment against condiment and ask, if you were trapped on a desert island, which 5 dips would you take with you?
Okay, so ketchup, brown sauce, English mustard, Ajika sriracha, they're all on the island so far in our top 5 condiments of all time.
But this week, we're doing something different.
Completely different.
This is coming straight out of left field. Nobody saw this coming.
It's a podcast. There are no rules. We do what we feel like.
We have done cranberry sauce before.
Yeah.
However, there is a festive tradition that quite often involves cranberry sauce that we felt was worth sort of revisiting
It is
cranberry sauce for. And that is the first annual official Desert Island Dips Christmas sandwich review.
Da, 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 Christmas time.
Some sort of thing needs to go in
Fanfare.
there, doesn't it? Yeah. We have gathered together 6 different supermarket bought, or actually no, one of them's not a supermarket, shop bought Christmas sandwiches.
I'd just like to say that's a very generous we, because I gathered.
Yeah. Okay.
I went out.
I've paid you half the money.
Fine. As a group, we have spent an obscene amount of money on Christmas sandwiches today.
I think if I'd had to get any of them, they would have all been gone by the time I got there, because I haven't been out today until I came here, and this is to look behind the curtain, everybody, 8:30 in the evening. And no one's got a Christmas sandwich left at 8:30 in the evening, have they?
No.
I wouldn't have thought.
I had to go early.
Yeah.
I braved the rush of the several grocery stores conveniently located very near each other in Angel.
That's helpful. What are we going to go through the list now of what we've got coming up, to a sort of bit of a teaser for
yeah.
the listener? Maybe there's one on here that they want to know about that they can listen on for or skip forward to. I don't know.
I think we should also just quickly do a recap for our foreign listeners about the phenomenon that is the Christmas sandwich in this country.
Okay.
Because
I'd forgotten that it wasn't a thing outside of here.
this is a very UK thing.
It's possibly my favourite Christmas tradition, I think.
Yeah.
I absolutely love Christmas sandwiches.
So basically, in this country, if you are a major retailer, you tend to have a sandwich area in the ready meal section. And
Your supermarkets.
Your
So
supermarkets.
your Sainsbury's, your Tesco's, your Waitrose, your Marks and Spencer's.
Again,
Yeah.
for international people, these names mean nothing to them.
They know what sort of thing it is, though.
Great.
Yeah.
So we have all of these sandwiches. They do special Christmas sandwiches. These sandwiches are often very similar.
Turkey-based.
Turkey-based sandwiches, and people go crazy for them. And I would also like to point out this year when I was buying them, there's a very wide variety of Christmas products now. Like you've got your wraps, your baguettes, your sandwiches.
That is a fairly recent phenomenon, though.
Everybody's.
Only a few years ago did that start, I think.
We decided to kind of like focus this in particularly on your sandwich. We didn't go baguette. We didn't go like fancy
Well, and they've all
wrap.
got...
In my world, a wrap is fancy.
They've all got a condiment within them of some sort, right?
Yes.
As well.
This is also a time where they try to take a boring meat like turkey and jazz it up with a fun condiment.
Well, I mean, you're just talking about Christmas there, really, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's not specific to the supermarkets.
Anyway, let's...
I am just going to point out to the listeners, I think this will illustrate how much I like Christmas sandwiches. I am fairly staunchly against too many Christmas traditions too early on in the year.
Yeah.
However, I will pretty much start eating Christmas sandwiches as soon as they appear on those shelves, which is sometimes as early as like early November.
And these sandwiches
I'm fine with it.
are like insanely packed with really rich foods that you should not be eating daily. But like,
I don't have one every day. But,
but I could easily eat one every day. Like it is danger bay for me in this month.
a couple a week normally.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like Christmas party hangover. It's like you go for one of these sandwiches. This is the Rolls Royce of your hangover cure.
The turkey sandwich for a hangover is a proven. I'm not going to say cure because nothing's a cure, but they certainly help.
Yeah.
So should we go through the list?
Yes.
So we've got Tesco's Turkey Feast, I think it's called. You know, the sort of traditional classic turkey breast, blah, blah, blah sandwich. We've got Pret's Christmas sandwich, which is slightly more extravagant. Not massively so, but slightly more. M&S's Turkey Feast. Then there's the M&S No Turkey Feast.
It's a vegan option.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that one. The I mean, this one's again out of left field. Waitrose, they do a turkey feast one,
Didn't go for it.
but we've got their Christmas ham hock and chili lily, which is difficult to say, which I'm looking forward to very much because I feel like it's just going to break up the. I'm not going to say monotony. That's rude. But it's going to break up the
Meat fest.
the wave of turkey that's coming my way. And then to finish us off, we've got another Sainsbury's offering, which is the Turkey Club, which is, I mean, it's still sticking to the basic recipe.
However, they decided to change it up a bit. And instead of doing your traditional condiment, they've gone with a ranch mayonnaise.
Which is probably a club sandwich specific thing, right? So they're...
No.
No? Okay.
It's usually just mayonnaise, but they've decided to combine the two white mouth lubricant flavors that no one can stand.
Into one.
Yeah.
Let's hope that the rest of the sandwich is going to make up for that. It's
Okay.
fine. We've talked about how mayonnaise is welcome in sandwiches before, haven't we?
Agreed.
Yeah. People think we're fundamentalists when it comes to mayonnaise. It's just not true.
No. Shall we start?
Yeah. Sandwich number 1, as I said, is the Tesco turkey breast chicken stock mayonnaise. Not chicken stock mayonnaise. Chicken stock mayonnaise? Or
Yeah. They made a mayonnaise with chicken stock.
Okay, I'm into that. Sausage, cranberry, sage and onion stuffing, and beechwood smoked bacon in malted black bread. It's not very black, that bread, to
No.
be fair.
It looks like just brown bread
Yeah.
with a lot of like bland meats in it. Like there's not really anything that's jumping out color-wise.
What's happening is we're going to eat these sandwiches while we record, so there might be some noises that you're going to hear.
Because we all decided that people love listening to other people eating.
Other people eating. There's an actual fear, isn't there, of that?
Is there?
Yeah. It's something phobia where people don't like the sound of other people eating.
I just like to point out that the turkey and the mayonnaise in the sandwich have kind of fused together, forming a gelatinous band. And then you've got like slices of probably the cheapest sausages.
Yeah, of course they are. But that's fine in a sandwich. Like you know, like an all-day breakfast sandwich with the sausages. That's what you're getting. Ready?
Yeah.
It's pretty standard.
So it's not dry, but it does just feel like really dense and bready.
Mm.
Like it doesn't really have any taste to it.
We've got a bit of stodge.
It's very stodgy. I honestly feel like this should be a budget sandwich, but it costs £2.50.
Mm.
And while it has a lot of meat, it doesn't have a lot of flavor. The only thing that's really like flavorsome in this is the cranberry.
Mm.
And it's got a heck of a job to do to try and cut through.
But it's kind of doing the job for me.
Is it?
Mm.
I just think it's missing something. It needs a spice. It needs something. Like, it's just bland.
I'm not getting a massive amount of cranberry either as well.
I'm not getting I'm also like onion stuffing, the onion sage bit. I'm not really feeling that either.
A little bit. As a turkey feast goes, I think that's basically the average. I'm not saying it's good, but if I had that, I'd be like, that's done what was advertised to me. You know.
I think I would rather get like a regular sandwich. If I only had a Tesco near me, I'd rather get a regular sandwich than this sandwich.
Than this Christmas one.
Yeah, because this Christmas one, it doesn't taste a lot like Christmas. It just kind of tastes like I'm afraid of flavor.
It could definitely do with a bit of pep.
It needs something to it. And there's nothing fresh in the sandwich either. There's no like lettuce, there's no tomato, there's no like...
I see what you mean.
It's just kind of like...
Well, I wouldn't, yeah.
It's bread. It's bread flavored.
Let's move on. Pret Christmas sandwich.
Pret Christmas sandwich has been described as like one of the best sandwiches consistently throughout the holiday season.
For me, they've taken the classic recipe and they've used it a little bit.
But like not for the worse, like for the better, I would say.
Well, we haven't eaten it yet.
So let's talk about this sandwich. We've got thick slices of free-range turkey. None of that processed stuff. It is turkey. You got a port and orange cranberry sauce.
Fancy.
Ooh la la.
Do you have to be 18 to buy it if it's got port in it?
I think it's reduced, so you're fine.
Okay, fine.
But it got like that rich sort of like just citrus flavor. A herby pork stuffing, baby spinach leaves, and it is finished with a dab of mayo and crispy onion.
I had it last week. Spoiler alert, I am a fan of the crispy onions.
Oh, who isn't a fan of a crispy onion?
Yeah, and because it's I like a crispy sort of addition to a sandwich. I think it's nice, a nice thing to do. Hang on, here we go. Nice big chunks.
Like, the sausage stuffing has, like, a really nice flavor to it. And it doesn't feel like you're just eating the cheapest sausages in the world.
No.
The cranberry, I think, they put on, like, a especially thick layer of it because you really do taste the cranberry cutting through.
Thick. They weren't lying about the thick slices of turkey. They are pretty thick, aren't they?
The crispy onion is awesome because it kind of, like, has that wonderful, like, crisp, like when you put crisps in a sandwich just to put it over the edge.
Yeah.
Love it. And also the fresh spinach leaves. Oh, this is just, it's ticking all the boxes for me. This is a religious experience of a sandwich.
It's much better than the last one, defo. I could continue to eat that for for many, many hours to come. No, I mean, that is a good sandwich.
The thing is, it feels like it's wrong because it's, like, just so, like, delicious. Like, you know from the flavor that you should not be eating this every day. If this was a regular menu item, like, the obesity crisis would be out of control.
We should point out it is £1.25 more than the Tesco one. £3.75. Which is quite a lot for a sandwich.
I agree. However, you can taste the difference in the ingredients, and I'm not necessarily, like, straddling the poverty line so hard that I need to be going for the Tesco one.
The thing I would say, just briefly to go back to the Tesco one, £2.50 is pretty cheap for a sandwich. I would be looking at, like, normally I would be sort of £3 at least. So that is a pretty good price.
But I think you really taste that they've skimped on it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not denying that it's not amazing, but as in, it's they're not overcharging for it, basically.
I think we both have made a small to medium mistake in that on sandwich 2, we've eaten the whole thing.
Well, you say the whole thing. What we've done is we've chopped one of the sandwiches in a 2-sandwich packet in half.
A quarter.
So we've had a quarter. That bit is really horrible, by the way. What has just happened? The noises that were being made. I'm still eating. You went, a quarter!
It was too important. I couldn't wait to swallow. I had to get the information out.
Right, sandwich number 3. M&S Turkey Feast.
Now, this is where I honestly feel that the Pret sandwich might get a run for the money.
The M&S Turkey Feast is turkey, bread. You don't normally have to mention the bread, do you? It's kind of assumed in the sandwich. It's a brown bread. Pork, sage and onion stuffing, cranberry, bacon, mayonnaise, fried onions, malted brown bread. Hang on, turkey bread. Have you just written the ingredients out wrong?
Yeah. I got too excited.
I've got turkey bread
also,
and bread.
Let's not judge that I typoed a K into bacon.
A K in the middle of bacon.
Back on.
And it says mayonnaise. But yeah, we know what you're getting at.
Granted, if you see my Twitter feed, you're not surprised by my typos.
There's red wiggly lines all over this document.
Does sausage have 3 S's in it? It does now.
I'm looking forward to the no turkey feast one that's got protein in it.
Don't give it away. Okay. Again, do we say the price point for
M&S Turkey Feast? £3.50.
So we're 25p less than the Christmas sandwich. And I would also like to point out, missing, that 25p would have been spent, I guess, on spinach. So this sandwich does not have any form of green component to it, or a fresh component.
Based on looks alone, I'm already less excited about this than I am the Pret one, and it looks like that it's possibly not a massive upgrade
from the Tesco one.
On the Tesco one, despite costing a full £1 more. Some of them have got like charity donations involved in the prices as well, though, haven't they?
Yeah, this one's going to shelter, so
because the Pret one as well there's a charity thing. It's probably
I think that's all of them. I think
probably all are.
Maybe that's why Tesco
that's why
didn't
slightly
explicitly
more.
made it. Maybe they're just like factoring it
from Tesco.
They're factoring in the charity costs.
Okay, the cranberry's a lot more obvious. They've already gone to town on the cranberry.
I was going to say they've really gone to town on the sage.
On the sage, yeah.
Like, this is so sagey. I feel like the bread is made out of sage, but it isn't.
It's basically a sage sandwich. A sage wedge.
It does taste like a sage wedge. I like sage, don't get me wrong.
But you wouldn't normally order a sage wedge, would you? Mm-mm. Underwhelmed for me.
I would say better than the Tesco sandwich, but not £1 better.
No.
Like, I feel like that price point is wrong for what this sandwich is.
Mm-hmm. It's too bland, that one.
Like the Tesco one was super bland, and then this one is still like falling onto your bland category.
The Tesco one was stodgy. This isn't stodgy as much, anyway. And you think from M&S that you'd get more.
This is the thing.
It's a quality brand.
It is, I think, worth paying the 25p more for the Pret sandwich. I'm very surprised by this because I genuinely thought this was going to be the stronger contender. Yeah. But when you actually sit down and eat them back to back, because like, you know what I mean? Like when you're just grabbing a sandwich, you don't necessarily have like that harsh comparison. You're just kind of like, oh yeah, no, turkey, Christmas, tastes good. But when you put them back to back, no, it does not stand up. What are you doing, M&S?
Maybe the other thing that we have to think about is that maybe we are losing slightly our ability to judge them because we're eating them so quickly back to back. I don't know.
Do you think we need like
we're having a bit of
palate cleanse? Yeah. Like we should be like.
I mean, I'm having a bev while we record, sort of doing that a little bit, but I don't think they normally use Budvar as a palate cleanser in taste tests.
Review too sagey.
Yeah, for me that is not that much higher than the Tesco one.
Can I ask another question?
Mm-hmm.
I look to you as the authority in Christmas sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that they go for a spread and a stuffing, and they don't make like a stuffing bread?
Stuffing bread, yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Because I think that's like there's the trick that you're missing there. Like, although I do appreciate like a good stuffing in a sandwich.
It's a good job you added it in a sandwich on the end. I don't know. Maybe it's just not possible. Maybe the scientists have not worked out a way of doing it. Should we move on?
Yes.
This one's the controversial one, as far as I'm concerned. M&S no turkey feast. I mean, how can it be a feast then if there's no turkey? You need to change the name.
Okay, there's
no turkey misery.
There's a very specific reason why I put the no turkey feast in the running. Number one, not everybody's a meat eater.
Yeah.
And a lot of the vegetarian sandwiches are like brie and cheese, and so it's like I can't really negotiate. The other reason is because I interviewed some scientists this week about veganism.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out that we need to start eating less meat, like, immediately. And basically, we need to consume less meat because it's just such a drain on resources with, like, livestock and blah, blah, blah.
It's the industrial farming, yes.
Yeah. And so we need to reduce meat in our diets by 1/9. So that means we should only be having one meal a week that has meat in it.
Sorry, I like sausages too much.
This is the thing. And it's because so much of the world is now like living at a stage where we can afford to buy meat, and meat is easily accessible, that we're doing more of it. So it's like, obviously people aren't going to drop it down, but you need to just kind of be thinking.
If there was a rule that said that if I had to have a sausage, I had to kill my own sausages, then that would change everything, wouldn't it?
I'm just saying, keep your open mind of
M&S, no turkey feast. Coming up.
You've just had the turkey feast.
So what's the substitute here?
We've got a marinated roasted soy protein, onion and sage dressing, cranberry chutney, fried onions, and spinach on a malted bread. Price point
£3.30.
So the only difference really between these two sandwiches is the soy protein and the addition of spinach, which
you enjoyed in the Pret.
Yeah.
So see how it goes. It's just turned into sort of mush in my mouth. I know that's kind of the purpose of a mouth.
Okay.
Turns food into mush that you can eat. I'm getting sort of similar levels of stodge as the first one.
It's a Tesco one. I would rank it slightly better than the Tesco one, but I'm not a fan of the soy protein.
No.
Like, it kind of has a slimy taste to it. And I would much kind of rather if you had all the ingredients without trying to pretend that you had meat in it. Like, if you just like...
Well, just take that out.
Take that out and added like a roasted vegetable or something. I'm all for the vegan sandwich. I'm supporting the vegan sandwich and the cause, but I just think there's just something a bit wrong. It's just too gooey.
But taken on pure taste and texture, we're not declaring this a particular success.
Maybe if they just went like more stuffing and they
might
didn't
help.
put in the soy at all, the weird soy protein, because
just
I
a
think
stuffing
that's what
sandwich. Hang on, you were just saying that they don't need stuffing and bread.
I know, but
kind of a
maybe,
stuffing
but
sandwich.
For vegans, maybe you do.
Maybe that's all you've got. Maybe that's all you've got left.
I don't know, buddy. I really wanted to like it.
Nah, not for me, thanks.
But hey, Desert Island Dips listeners, try eat less meat. So back to the tracking. So I'm thinking slightly better than the Tesco one.
No,
But
for me, that's the bottom of the list.
really,
Yeah.
I think you were always going to hate it.
This one's slightly different now. Waitrose does I think maybe 3 sandwich range or so, 3 or 4 Christmas sandwich range.
They got your turkey feast. They got this one, the ham hock and chili lily, which I don't.
There's a salmon. A lot of the places do
And
a salmon one, don't they?
Yeah, but it's again salmon with cream cheese. So I kind of just
I don't like salmon anyway, so I would be like, no thanks. Whereas if this was sold all year round, based purely on those ingredients, I would eat this regularly, I think.
So we've got a sandwich made of ham hock, like a pulled ham hock, chili piccalilli.
We haven't done piccalilli yet,
I haven't
have
done piccalilli yet. So it's kind of like
Piccalilli is a bit like Branston pickle in the sort of process they use to make it. So it's pickled veg, but with can't remember. We can't go too much into it because we need to do an episode on it.
Mayonnaise and spinach. So you got your fresh component in a white bread this time.
For me, the first thing to say about this is that the bread is quite budget, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's only a £2.30 sandwich.
Cheapest of all the sandwiches
Cheapest
so
of
far.
all, yeah.
This is my bottom.
Just to make it clear to the listeners that Emily means that it's her bottom ranked sandwich. She wasn't showing me her bottom.
Why would I do that? I'm eating sandwiches. Come on.
Well, you just said, this is my bottom, right? You were like, this is... That's not what happened. And that wouldn't be clear.
You know what this tastes like?
What?
This tastes like going to a family gathering and they have like a plate of sandwiches left out, and then you eat the last one you got there late, so you have to eat the remaining sandwich that's like left on the table.
I like this one.
Really? What is it that speaks to you about this sandwich?
The ham hock. Love a bit of ham hock.
The piccalilli.
I like chili lily. I like piccalilli, so I like chili lily. Yeah. The only thing that I will go back to the white bread is proper budget white bread.
Yeah.
Which has its time and place for me, very much so in the world. But if it had a slightly better bread, that for me would be a top class sandwich. It's really hard to rank it compared to the others just because it's different.
I think that was the point, though.
Yeah, I know, but
I'm not a fan of it, obviously, and I don't know
Not
how
as
to
good
be
as
polite. As you mentioned, you said I could eat this sandwich all year round. Nothing in that sandwich tasted like Christmas to me.
it's sort of going for the eating up the leftovers idea, I think.
Yeah, but then you might as well just call it leftover sandwich.
I mean, it's quite clear that you don't work in marketing.
And who has ham for Christmas?
Sometimes you do.
I do not understand.
Maybe not on Christmas Day, but you sometimes have it around Christmas.
I don't support ham at Christmas.
Well, it's a good job I do then. So at least 50-50 split on that cause. So you're saying that's your least favourite?
That is my least favourite.
Okay. That for me goes, Pret still number 1. But do you know what? It was probably second.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, final sandwich.
Sainsbury's Turkey Club.
Are you ready for this? So
This is the one with the ranch mayo. Also, the club has the extra bit of bread in the middle.
Yes.
So you're getting sort of more bread for your money.
Now, aesthetically,
more bread bang.
This sandwich looks very different because they have put like faux panini press grill marks onto the bread. It's a white bread.
My friend Simon calls that toast veneer.
Ooh.
He used to get annoyed with me for buying M&S club sandwiches because they got toast veneer on them.
It does have a toast veneer. It is not toasted. Three pieces of bread. Now,
the thing we have to point out about this,
I'm not eating this one because there is a layer of Emmental cheese in it.
And you're a dairy dodger.
And I'm a dairy dodger. You're smelling your sandwich. What are your initial thoughts from the smell?
Initially, the lack of... Well, there's tomato in there. I mean, my initial thoughts from aesthetic and smell, not Christmassy in any way.
So you've got your toast veneer on white bread, some form of lettuce, tomato, turkey,
there's bacon in there as well.
And
the cheese.
Cheese.
And some mayo, by the looks of it.
The ranch mayo. I don't see any cranberry.
That's just a normal sandwich.
I think points against because it doesn't taste like Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the big question. What about the turkey? Because it looks like a cheap turkey.
Yeah, it's not great. I hate to say it again, but it's not as good as Pret. Do you know what, actually? I'm gonna be quite harsh on this.
Go on.
Not Christmassy enough, disqualified.
Really?
Yeah. There's nothing. It's just a turkey sandwich.
They lied to you.
Basically.
What about the ranch mayonnaise?
I don't hate it, you know.
to me, mayonnaise does need a flavor to enhance it. I think that's like,
Lunch isn't a strong enough flavour, though, is it?
that's what I'm trying to assess from your taste.
It's very much performing its the role that we bestowed upon it, the mayo, of purely lubricant.
What would you add to that sandwich to make it better?
It needs Christmasing up. There's no stuffing in there. There's no cranberry in there. That's why I'm disqualifying it, because it's not a Christmas sandwich.
Yeah, market it as a Christmas sandwich.
Sorry,
The
Sainsbury's.
packet
Yeah, that's all they're
says
doing.
Christmas sandwich, and all they did was just like take it off the shelf and put it.
So I go to Sainsbury's quite regularly,
Mm.
and sometimes when I can't be bothered to make lunch, I'll get a sandwich in there. And I looked at this because I thought, because when I'm picking a Christmas sandwich, I quite often go for the sort of slightly extravagant one because I'm a ponce.
It's a treat.
And I looked at that when the Sainsbury's Christmas sandwiches first were put on the shelves this year, and I picked it up and I went, no, put it back. And I went for the lesser, in inverted commas. They do a turkey, bacon and stuffing one, I think it is, which is pretty good. It's quite similar to the Tesco one, to the point where, in fact, I think they possibly made it the same place. And a like pigs in blankets and turkey one as well, which is similar. So for me, disqualified.
I would also just like to point out, as like such a British complaint, Sainsbury's sandwiches have really gone downhill as to what is included in the meal deal.
Absolutely. I was talking to someone about this the other day.
This sandwich is $2.35.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cheap.
Like the Tesco sandwich was $2.50, and that was included in a meal deal for £3, where you got a drink and chips as well. Great.
You'd be a fool not to.
This is cheaper than the Tesco one and is still not included in the meal deal. Like, I find that shocking, and it's not like,
that is awful. It's only the rubbish ones that are included.
Oh, like I can't eat a lot of the cheese-based ones, obviously, and I think a lot of those are in the meal deal. They actually have a sandwich that is like bacon and ketchup, and that is it. That's their sandwich, and they sell it all day, not just like a morning breakfast thing.
It's about £1.20, isn't it? It's really cheap, and you can tell by looking at it.
It does not. It's not even nice bacon. Like, it's just the saddest bacon that was on the shelf. And I just don't understand how they think I can. If
you take out the ketchup, keep the bacon, take out the ketchup, put in cranberry, and put in some turkey, that's more of a Christmas sandwich than that one.
Agree.
So that's disqualified. I'm not even going to give it a ranking, which gives us, I think, a unanimous Pret win.
Yeah, I think so. It tastes like, the thing about the Pret sandwich is that it ticks all the boxes as terms of like the flavors you want, the freshness, the crisp, the crunch. Like, it is a focus group of a Christmas dinner of a sandwich. Like, if I showed up at like somebody's Christmas dinner and they just had Pret sandwiches because, like, you know,
all right.
the world's gone mad and like
maybe some Yorkshire puddings
whatever.
or something.
Yeah. Like a roast potato accompaniment and like some Pret sandwiches, I would be happy with that.
But like, you know, all it means is that we don't have to all sit down at the table.
And it means that nobody's doing the dishes afterwards.
And like a gravy smoothie.
Yes.
That'd be delicious.
Why aren't there gravy sidecars that you can get like with your sandwich, so that you could like dip your sandwich in gravy?
Do you reckon that would work?
Yeah. Like, you know, like a tiny pot of gravy that you could like.
Do you know what? I'm getting slightly off topic. What we're doing is we were going to declare a sort of desert island, one of those sandwiches that we would be able to have on the island for our Christmas dinner, right? So that's what we've done. Pret sandwich is the winner.
Yeah.
Well done, Pret. But sort of on that theme, there is a sandwich you can get in Sainsbury's all year round that is, I think it's a beef one. I can't remember what else. But you get a little plastic bag which has got crispy onions in, and you have to put them in the sandwich yourself.
I respect that.
Which is a bit like, you may not have ever encountered them, but salt and shake crisps.
No.
Popular in the like late 80s and the 90s. Basically a red bag of ready salted crisps, but inside there is a little blue sachet type thing which has got the salt in, and you have to apply the salt yourself, and then you shake up the bag so you get your own sort of portion control of the salt. Not that anyone ever didn't put it in, not all of it. It's quite weird. But they've gone, let's make a salt and shake sandwich equivalent, but it's with crispy onions. I tried it. It's fine.
I would also like to take this moment just to talk about sandwiches in the sense that...
in general.
Well...
aren't sandwiches great?
Within your meal deal, you get a drink, a bag of chips, and a sandwich.
Yeah.
What I like to do is take the crisps, put it inside the
switching up the
sandwich.
language.
Or whatever. You know what I mean? Blah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not from this country. I don't know where I belong. Ugh,
Well, I'm
it's
just making sure that
complicated.
the listeners understand. Yeah.
But taking the crisps out of the meal deal and putting them into the sandwich, and then like a child, because apparently I eat like a 6-year-old child.
But see, you can do the same thing just by putting a crisp in your mouth after you've taken a bite of a sandwich, and no one would call you a child for doing that, would they?
Yeah, but I just kind of like the mouthfeel of when you bite into it and you have that like crunch.
Yeah.
Like if I'm not rushing or like, I'm actually like getting the sandwich to go sit and eat in a sad canteen somewhere or like sit in the park, I'll do it and I'll feel happier for myself. And like I am aware that I'm fully being judged. I think of the woman who ate the Viennetta. Did I tell you this story?
Yeah, we've had it before, I think. Yeah.
I was on the bus. I saw a woman. I was on like top deck of the bus. I saw a woman by the canal.
Out the window, wasn't it?
Yeah, she was eating a Viennetta on her lunch break.
What a hero.
And it's like, yeah, live your life. Like that's what she wanted to do on her lunch break. So like, I try not to let that judge.
No,
I
you
try to
shouldn't.
be the woman with the Viennetta and put the crisps in my sandwich.
Crisps. Before we go, because we're out of time, I would like to just share a Christmas sandwich, but not a Christmas sandwich recipe with the listeners.
Please.
If you ever find yourself in the position where you've got just a very basic, what I find works well with this is if it's like a sub roll, but it's just cheese and tomato, not very fun.
Yeah.
Get yourself some chili heat wave Doritos because they tessellate quite nicely down a sub, and they really spice it up. Oh, it's so good. It's really nice.
For your use of the word tessellate,
Well, that's what you do.
I feel so inferior for writing protein
It wasn't protein.
Proton.
It was protein.
protein in the script today. Ugh.
Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. We were hoping that's helpful, aren't we? Really, we were hoping that people might take this on board.
Please.
But we'd also like to hear if you've got any particular favourites Christmas sandwiches that we didn't include that maybe we could. We won't. I don't think we'll do a follow up. But if we were to do it again next time, we'll include.
We'll do some fun social media posts.
Yeah.
If you send us like a voice recording or like a video of you eating a Christmas sandwich or whatever, if you just want to be like Insta
If you wanna go
famous
viral.
on the Desert Island Dips account, like,
All of
hey,
our-
we're there, we're living for this.
All of our followers, get in touch.
Yeah,
basically.
and this Christmas, I would just like to say you can give the greatest gift of all, and that is this podcast to somebody. Just like, please forcibly download it onto their phones. It's
say.
free.
It's not a very easy gift to give, is it?
Just
a podcast,
steal their phone, download it, and
then force them to listen to it.
yeah, and be like, hey, I feel this is just this is. I don't have a lot going on in my life.
We should remind you how to get in touch. It's Desert Island Dip on Twitter, Desert Island Dips on Facebook and Instagram,
Yep.
and desertislanddips@gmail.com.
Our email address, if you will. And please also, sorry, can I just do another like beg for rating and reviewing us?
Yes.
Because that's like also a really valuable thing.
Yeah.
If you could rate and review
Everyone
us.
knows that. Everyone listens to the podcast. They know. Everyone says that. They all know now.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking like, oh, Desert Island Dips has too many awesome reviews. They don't need more. No, I'm greedy. I want them.
You can never have enough.
Just like I want a gravy sidecar, I want your reviews. I think a gravy sidecar would be amazing.
I think we need to stop now before you go over the top. Thanks again for listening. Thanks again to John Lyons for the theme tune. I've decided we're going to thank him every episode now.
He's a good guy. He needs it.
And we will see you in the new year.
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Oh, Happy New Year.